welcome to the WOOLapyk Podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting, dyeing yarn, and my life here in Roskilde, Denmark, where I live with my boyfriend and our daughter, who will be 2 in 2 weeks' time, and my boyfriend's daughter, who lives here every other week. It is October 3rd today. It is nice and sunny. It's been a little rainy earlier in the day, but it's around noon now and it's cleared up. It's gotten really cold. My daughter is now wearing her snowsuit when we're out. We're out every morning and every afternoon. And she's wearing that and a hat, and yeah, it just really feels like fall now. And the leaves have turned brown, and I don't know, fall is not my favorite season. Mainly because it means, at least for me, it means that winter is just around the corner and that darkness is just around the corner, and I just prefer those really long, nice Scandinavian summer nights and days. Yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot of knitting to show, or at least not knitting that I've done, but I have knitting that other people have done for me to show you. And I have some yarny acquisitions, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'm just gonna start with what I'm working on, which is, I have 2 things that I'm working on. One is something that I cast on a couple of days ago. Oh, I just dropped a stitch, and it is, can't really tell much. This is how much I have so far. It's a pair of bloomers for my daughter. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I think maybe you can see it now. It's a pair of bloomers for my daughter that I'm knitting out of a yarn that I talked about last time. It's a BFL Mash and Blend. It is very nice and soft, a DK weight. And this is the undyed version. I tried dyeing on it, and because the base is this color, it's hard to dye on, so I'm not gonna get the base back again, but I really enjoy the yarn, so I wanted to knit something out of it. Yeah, and then it's a single ply yarn, so it does split. I mean, it's when I knit with it, the needles sometimes get caught into the yarn, so it kind of splits up in 2, so I have to be careful about that, but that's because it's a single ply, so it's very loosely spun. What I'm knitting a pair of bloomers from this new book, which is called Strikketanten, which is by, it came out on September 15th. It's by Birgitte Nørgaard, and if you're Danish, you probably know of her from Instagram. She has a little online yarn store called Knit We Do, and then she does some very cute little knitting patterns. So Strikketanten means like knitting for many people or for little people, and it's a knitting book with knitting patterns for babies ages 0 till 2 years old, and my daughter turns 2 in 2 weeks time, like I just said, but she's on the smaller side, so I thought I could knit something for her and she would be fine wearing it. I'm actually knitting this pair of bloomers right here. Let's see if I can find a better picture. Oh, here it is. Right here. I'm sorry, I know you can't see, but I don't think it will focus if I do this. No, I don't think you can see it, but it's just a pretty simple pair of bloomers with some texture up top, and then they're quite long, so they will probably hit her just below her chest, which I like. So they'll warm the lower part of her torso, and she's a very warm kid, so I thought that would be a good thing, because sometimes a vest is even too hot for her, but this way she would still get, part of her torso would be warm and her body would be warm, but she won't be sweating. And sometimes I just feel like if she doesn't wear a vest or anything, she's too cold, but if she does, she gets too hot. So I'm hoping this would be like a nice compromise and keep her warm but still not too hot. There are other things in here that I'd like to knit. There is this like little suit that I thought she could wear when it gets really cold. She always sleeps on naps outside in the stroller or in the pram, which is a very Danish thing. All babies basically sleep outside whenever they can, and so that would be nice for her to wear that. And then also actually the same one, this little cardigan here is very cute too, so I may knit that for her as well. Yeah, I'm trying to go fast like I did last time. I succeeded last time in having a fairly short episode, and I want to do that again because it's easier for me to edit, and it's way faster for me to upload to YouTube. So I hope you're okay with that. Not that you really would have anything to say, I guess, because I'm just doing what I want to do, but I do listen if you comment. So what am I doing here? Oh, so the second thing that I'm working on is a sweater for me. This is the, I can't remember, I have the book right here. It's a pattern by Helga Isager, and I have already knit one pattern from this book. And now, oh, C6, I'm knitting the C6 sweater. And it's knit from cuff to cuff, so you cast on here and you knit, and then you split for the front and back, and you knit, and then you join the two, like front and back again, and then you knit the other sleeve. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically it's knit from here all the way over and all the way back here. I think that was way easier to explain it that way. Yeah, so it uses 3 different yarns, and the cuff here is a Isager yarn. It's their tweed yarn, and then the body or the main color is a mix of these two. So the white is a drops yarn, 100% alpaca, and the light gray is Camarose Yaku 416. And these two are what I think would classify as deep stash. I've had these in my stash for a very long time. I would say 5 years or so. At least the white drops yarn. I wouldn't buy drop yarn now for various reasons. One of them being that they copy other designers' work. I'm not going to get into that, but I had it and I'm going to use it. So, and it's a fine, nice yarn. And this yarn I got, I think, 5 years ago, at Fanø Stanky Festival. So I've had that for a long time too. And this is a 100% superwash. Yeah, superwash merino. Oh no, superwash wool, not merino. I was working on this, and you're supposed to increase every 12th row, and I started out doing that. As you can see, this is why I have my increases, 12 rows, and then I forgot about it, and then I started increasing every 6th row. So this whole piece here basically has to be ripped out. And I think maybe that's why I haven't, well, I know that's why I haven't worked on it. So I'm debating whether I should just keep going and then just have the wider sleeve down by the lower part of my arm, or if I should rip it back and, oh, that's the wrong side I'm showing you. If I should rip it back and just start over. I guess it depends on the shape I want the sleeve to be, but I really like this pattern a lot. And I actually do enjoy knitting on the pattern as well. I've been talking about Isager's patterns and how much I really enjoy the look of the pattern, and I also really admire her design, just her design style and her designs in general. I really, she's very good at designing patterns, at least patterns that I like. That is very classic and sort of thorough, but the pattern writing is not thorough in my opinion. Like I said, I knit another one of her patterns from this book, which is knit in the same way from cuff to cuff, and I think that has helped me understand this pattern a lot better because it's the same construction. So yeah, so those were my 2 works in progress. Then I have one finished object that's my own, and 1, 2, 3, 4 finished objects that aren't mine, but they are for me or for my daughter, so I wanted to show you anyway. But I'm gonna start out with a pattern that is finished, and it is this one. This is the baby alarm is on. I think she's still sleeping. So this is the Hyldebluse by Sophie Jespersen. It's a Danish pattern from a Danish book, knitting book with children's patterns that I have mentioned several times and that I really enjoy, and I think she makes beautiful patterns. This is, oh my goodness, I forgot to, I'm knitting on my Tegna. I didn't bring that in here, but yeah, I'll show you that one last time. I have another work in progress, but yeah, I'm gonna show you that last time. Anyway, I just remembered because it has this lace section down here too, like the Hyldebluse does. So, side note. But yeah, this is finished. It is a size 1 to 2 years old. I used one skein of my hand-dyed yarn, which is called, the colorway is called Mist. I used the whole skein. I added length in the sleeves and in the body. I think if I hadn't done that, and like the 100 grams would have been enough, but I wanted it to be longer so she can wear it for a longer time. And what I did once I ran out of yarn is that I just switched to a white, and yeah, I quite like it. I think, obviously, I have to be honest though, I would have preferred it to be the main color of the body for the whole pattern, but I also didn't want to break into a whole other skein for 15 grams of yarn. That just didn't make sense to me. And I also wanted to show that it is possible to use just one skein for a size 1 to 2 years old if that's what you wanted to do. And then you can add in just a little contrast of whatever you have left. This is just a white yarn. I thought that would look the best, so that's what I added in. Yeah, I haven't tried it on her yet actually, so I'm excited to see what it looks like once she's wearing it. I also still need to add a button and make a little button loop here for the back. I don't think there's anything else. I was working on this a lot last week because I wanted to bring this piece with me to Knitwork, which is a knitting festival in Copenhagen that I attended this weekend. And I was working on it, it wasn't finished, and you know, Friday, it's work, so Knitwork opened on Friday, and it wasn't finished on Friday, and I was working on it on Friday evening, and I was working on it Saturday evening, and I finished it Saturday evening and weaved in the ends. I blocked it and everything, and it was ready for Sunday, because I thought, okay, at least I have it for one day, and then I forgot it. so it wasn't with me, or it wasn't at the booth at all. Which was kind of a bummer, because I think this is one of the colorways that it's hard to imagine what it looks like when it's just in the skein, and I really wanted to bring this so people can see what it looked like. Yeah, it was just silly. I should have just brought it and had it, you know, there unfinished, because you could still totally see what the yarn looked like once it's knit up. Anyway, so I think, yeah, I need to reset the camera. I'm back again, closer to the camera this time, because I think that may be better. I hope so. So those were my finished objects, and I was talking a little bit about knit work, which was wonderful. If you came by, thank you so much. I had a wonderful time. Yeah, it's always really fun to be out. I always surprise myself by really liking it as much as I do, because I am not really to say I'm not a people person is wrong, but I really do enjoy my own company a whole lot, and I generally don't need a lot of human interaction. That sounds wrong, but I have always enjoyed being in my own company. Part of it is that that I'm with people who have or share the same interests as I do, and so that's always fun when you have something in common with other people, and yeah, you get to share that with them. And obviously people were all so nice and said a lot of nice things about my yarn, which just made everything even better. And I was sharing a booth with Trine, who is Knit by Trine P, who is a designer, and she had her patterns there, and that was really nice too, to just share that with her. Yeah, and it was nice talking to the other people, or the other vendors there. Yeah, so it was a really nice weekend, and it also felt good to finally, I've been dyeing up so much yarn these last 3 weeks, and I've hardly seen Jakob in the evenings, because that's when I'm dyeing out on my balcony. So it was just nice to sort of experience that yarn going out into the world, and also things like very basically getting paid for that work, because I don't get paid obviously before I've sold my yarn, so that also felt nice, to having worked hard for something and then earning the money back again. It was just a really nice time with nice people, and it's been nice these last days, Wednesday today, and just relaxing. Well, I haven't really relaxed because there's been other things, but not having to stress about having the yarn dyed and ready and labeled, and making sure it's drying on time, and like all that prep work can be a little stressful for me. So it just feels good when it's, you know, it's over, it went well, it was a nice weekend, and you know, I made some money. So if you're new here, it's my part-time job, I guess you can say. I stay home with my daughter, who is soon to be 2. This is the 3rd time I'm mentioning that. And then I study full-time, but I do it online, so I try to study when she's napping or in the evenings. And then obviously I dye yarn and sell yarn online, and I also am one of the organizers behind a yarn festival called Fiberfolk here in Denmark, and we had our first event in May and this year, and then we're gonna have our second in November in Aarhus. So if you are in Aarhus on November 18th, you should definitely check out Fiberfolk. Has a focus on small makers, and so there are a lot of small hand dyers and small designers, and it's a good thing. It's yeah, I started it because I felt like it was one thing that was missing here in Denmark in the knit and the crochet and yarn, you know, world here in Denmark, we needed that. And a lot of people seem to agree, so I'm really happy about that. And so I'm one of it, like the other person is Jakob, who is my boyfriend. He's sort of helping me with the financial part of it, and some emailing, and things like that. But yeah, so there's a lot of things going on, but I enjoy all of it. Well, I enjoy taking care of my daughter, and I enjoy dyeing yarn and working with that. So working with my company, young company, it sounds so big. It's not really. It's a tiny yarn dyeing business, I guess. It's called WOOLapyk, if you weren't aware of that. And then I enjoy Fiberfolk a whole lot. And as for the studying, I'm at a point now in my life where I'm just ready for it to be over, and I'm done, and I finish up in the summer of next year. I want to show you what I got in knitwork. I mainly stayed in my own booth, obviously, but my mom came on Sunday and stayed there for a little bit, and I got to just have a quick look around in the other windows. And I did get some yarn that I wanted to show you quickly. So I got this bag. Let me show you that. It's a pretty bag by Yndling, which is a Danish yarn company, and they have a focus on sustainability, which is just really cool. And I got some of their 100% superfine wool. It is 25 grams and 120 meters. So I got some yarn. I got some yarn. Yes, I did. So I got some for my to knit something for my daughter, and maybe something for me. I don't know, but I think it's all gonna be something for her. I got a white, a gray, and a pinkish tone. It's called warm gray, but it is definitely pink. And also I got they just got a new yarn base, which is this silk mohair, which is gonna be something for me. I don't know what, but I think the gray is gonna be a sweater for my daughter, and I think I'm gonna use the I don't want to say pink, it's more of a dusty pink, I guess. I think they are going to be little vests for her, because she needs more vests, and it's just so nice and soft. The other day I put on a nice knitted hat for her, and she said ow ow, which is like ouch, or because it was scratchy. So I just thought, oh no, it cannot start out already, she's not even 2 yet. So this is super soft, and I'm thinking just gonna put her in the softest, nicest knitwear I can find, and then hopefully she's always wanting to wear whatever I knit for her. Yeah, so this is very, very nice and soft. So it's gonna be something for her. I know white is not a practical color, but it's still nice, and yeah. It's not practical, I know, but I still want to knit something for her. I just think it looks so nice and classy on, yeah, whether it's for little babies or kids or adults with something white. So it's probably going to be a vest for her, and then I'll just have to live with it being dirty very, 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 very quickly. And then, so I got more than just one of each, but I don't feel like there's any need of showing you all of them. Then I got these 3 Camarose Yaku 416. I just had to get them because of the color, which is amazing. It's a very autumnal, warm, golden brown color. I don't know what to knit out of this. It's probably gonna be something for my daughter as well. And then I got these two. Beautiful. There are single ply yarns by Tegna, or she got a Danish hand dye that's called Cleogan. She has a collaboration with her, so she dyes certain colors for Tegna, and Tegna sells them. And these are two of them. I just thought they would be really nice in the shawl, or I may use them in swaps or things like that. I don't know, but I just really think they're super pretty. They would be nice in a Simon West shawl though, or maybe in the pink Wono. I have the pattern for that, so I could also add them in there. And what else? Oh, one last thing. This little one. This is a fox. I just had to get that. This is from Yndling as well. And Katrine, who's behind Yndling, she's also a designer. She told me she had a friend has a friend in Vietnam, and she has some ladies in Vietnam who is crocheting these. This is a crochet fox. This is going to be a lot longer than I planned. There's only 6 minutes left, and I have to finish within these 6 minutes, so I'm gonna get going quickly, really quickly. I wanted to show you some garments that a lovely friend knit for my daughter, because she's amazing, and she offered to knit for me and for her, I guess. And so I found some yarn in my stash that I've had for ages, and I gave it to her, and then she knit something for Esther, my daughter. The first thing she knit was this little pair of bloomers, or leggings. I don't know, I think they're called leggings in the pattern. And these are from Omhu, which is a Danish book by Sophie and Jespersen. I talk about this every time. It's the same book as this one is from, that I just showed you. These are knit out of Tusindfods Engleuld. Super nice and soft. So she knit these, and then she knit her another pair of bloomers from the same book. I think these are called Morbær, maybe Morbær bloomers, and I think these are called Askeleggings, something like that. And these are knit with my own yarn. This is on a 100% superwash merino base that I don't carry anymore. But I dyed this with a coffee grinds. I dyed this, I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that. And it's just been laying around because I didn't want to sell it. I don't think it's that color fast, so I didn't want to sell it, and then the color would disappear within like 3 or 4 washes. So, but I thought when it was just for me, it wouldn't matter. So then it would be a way for me to see how well the color sort of stays in the yarn, or if it stays or not. So yeah, it's very light brown, maybe even more of a beige brown, I guess. I don't know if you can see. And then she knit these. I can't remember what they're called. If I remember, I'll put it in the show notes. The show notes are always down below the video here on YouTube. That's the only place I write down what I talk about. Very cute as well. I was so happy when she came. She came with this big stack of knitwear for my daughter, and it just made me so happy because I want to knit more for her. I just don't have as much knitting time as I want, or I wish, which I think most of us probably don't have as much knitting time as we would like. So it just made me so happy that she wanted to knit for her. She has kids on her own, but they don't really want to wear knitwear, and yeah, so I was just jumping at the chance of her knitting for my daughter. She also knit a skirt where I haven't sewn in the edges, has to be sewn in. And she knit another pair of bloomers that she's wearing right now, so I can't show you. But I'm gonna try and remember to show you next time. And then she knit a little shop sample, which is also something that Esther's going to wear. But this is the Stockholm sweater by Petite Knit in a size 1 years old. And she used a Isa yarn, or Isa silk mohair, their white colorway and then held together with my yarn right here. This is called All Day All Night. It's a new colorway. Just a pinkish, well, most of it is pink. There are some brownish colors in there as well. So it's a very, very girly sweater. I think this is the most girly thing that she owns. Super cute. I have another one, another test knitter knitting one in my size, just in a different color, so I'm very excited to show you guys that once it's done. Okay, I have 2 minutes left. I wanted to show you this, which is, we just found our winter clothes, and I just wanted to show you what I usually wearing during the winter, or which patterns I wear the most, but I think I may have to wait till last time. This is like a little teaser to be continued, I guess. One thing, I have a minute and a half left. These are a pair of wrist warmers or fingerless mittens that I've been wearing a lot, but they're just getting quite worn, and I was thinking about making these into a pair of mittens for my daughter. And I think what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna felt them in the machine, and once they're felted I will sort of, I don't know if I'm gonna cut them first or if I'm gonna felt them and then, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to show you before I try out this little experiment, so maybe next time I could show you what I did to these, and if it worked out. She just needs a pair of really warm mittens for when we are biking, so I don't want to add a thumb or anything. They just need to kind of warm her hands and keep them warm while we're biking, because it can get quite cold, especially when she's just sitting in the back and isn't moving anything. So her hands get really cold quite quickly in this weather, so she needs a pair of really warm mittens, and I thought if we felt them they will be super nice and warm. And I have to stop now because there is 14 seconds left. Thank you so much for watching. I know I've been a little scattered and talking super fast, but I hope you enjoy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.